So I'm here today with Kelly, who runs Hair by Kelly, and we're going to find out a little bit more about what she does and how she manages her mum life. Hi Kelly, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. You?
Good, yeah, really well, thank you.
Good.
So do you want to just give us an overview of your background and kind of what you've done previously?
So I left school at 16, wasn't massively academic, didn't particularly like school very much. Left in the June, went straight into full-time employment in the July, and I just worked for local life offices.
Okay.
Did that for a long, long time. Always worked like in admin roles.
Yeah.
And then left. I was with one for 3 years, one for 10 years. Worked briefly for a property management company, and then my last proper admin job was for the NHS local doctor surgery.
Okay.
And I left there Christmas 2006.
Yeah.
Because I was pregnant.
Okay.
And originally the plan was that I was looking at maybe going back part-time or on a job share basis.
Okay.
But the closer it got to me leaving and the more I thought about coming back, the less and less and less I wanted to do it.
Okay.
So I left Christmas 2006, and then I had Amber February 2007, and initially I was supposed to be off for 6 months, but I just didn't go back.
Did you experience it as more of a challenge when you were pregnant and you kind of were getting those
hugely.
signals that it wouldn't be?
I think I've never been hugely career driven anyway. I was very much, I worked to live, I didn't live to work.
Yeah.
And I just, just went from admin job to admin job really.
Yeah.
And I liked the job at the doctor's surgery, but it was really busy, and it was quite, although it was local, it was quite long hours. And my boss at the time hadn't had children, and so the heavier, the more pregnant I was, the more awkward I felt, and I just thought, this just isn't going to work. I'm going to be clock watching and got to go back to pick Amber up, and then all of a sudden she's going to appear and I'm going to have to do a report and stay late, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. I was really tired, coming home quite upset, so just made the decision that was it. I wasn't going to go back.
It's unfortunate, but it is something that I hear all the time, that a lot of companies are just, I don't know if it's a mindset issue or whether it is they just don't feel they can accommodate pregnant women or women with young children.
And the environment that I worked in, lots of us were a similar sort of age, and so that I felt pregnant and someone else felt pregnant and he felt pregnant, and so I guess as an employer I can imagine that's quite frustrating, but then if you're going to employ women of that age, you have to expect that might happen, and then I think it's very hard to go back, and you're not going to be the same because obviously your priorities are totally different, aren't they? And so for me, I just thought this just isn't going to work. I didn't feel happy, and I couldn't see that I would be comfortable, working back in that environment, knowing really it was a little bit frowned upon.
No, I can relate to that, absolutely. So did you know then that you'd planned to kind of go on and do hairdressing, or was you just completely in limbo?
I have been hair obsessed forever. Like, if you ask my mum, she would just roll her eyes and laugh. Probably from my mid-teens when I was at senior school, I'd get my mum to put my hair in those plaits so I looked like Madonna. I was going to school with a big bow in my hair, and then I went really short, and then I went blonde, and then when I started working at 16, and I was getting a regular paycheck every month, I was obsessed. I was in the hairdressers every payday, and I was coming home and I'd cry, and I don't like it. And then it even got to the point my dad was like, for God's sake, this is very ridiculous. And then we always had a freelance hairdresser at home. So I think I'd sit and watch what she was doing, and I'd probably drove her mad, I'd ask her questions. But I'd always been interested in hair, and obsessed with my own hair. And then I looked into actually doing hairdressing as an evening student when I was about 25. But because I was working full time and I just moved out of home and bought a flat, I just thought it wasn't going to work. It was too much. So I didn't really have that in mind when I left. I just left and didn't really know what I was going to do.
Focus on having a new baby.
That's a bit crazy as well. And then I thought sometimes I used to do like a bit of craft stuff, so a bit of jewellery making, and I did embellished t-shirts for kids. So I did the craft market a few times in Hitchin, which I liked it, I enjoyed it, but I soon realised there's not a lot of money in it at all. So then it was like, right, well, I need to work out what I'm going to do. So I kind of sat down with my other half, sat down with my family, and I was like, all of them were kind of like, you've always wanted to do hairdressing, like for a really long time now, you've gone on about it, why not see if it's feasible?
Yeah.
So at this point I was 34.
Yeah.
I enrolled at college as a mature student, so that was 2 nights a week for 2 years.
That. When they say mature student,
mature student, you feel a lot mature, I'm still 12. But yeah, so that was September 2008, so Amber was 18 months old.
Okay.
So it was 2 nights a week for 2 years, but that summer, so I knew that I'd enrolled and I started in September, and that summer I wrote to every single hairdressers in Hitchin, explained my situation, like sent my CV and just said I'm looking for Saturday work, you know, I'll do anything, I just want the experience. And I got lucky, there was one salon, it was a brand new salon that was opening that August, and she just said, well, I know that you're going to turn up, you know, rather than if I give it to a 16-year-old that's going to be out drinking on a Friday night.
Yeah.
So I was a 34-year-old Saturday girl for a year,
Fabulous.
which was entertaining.
And was that where I first met you, actually, thinking back then? Was that the salon that I
Yeah, I
used
think
to bring
it was
Grace
actually.
into?
Yeah, it was.
So I remember actually when I used to have
Yeah,
my
it was,
hair
yeah,
done,
Grace, yeah.
and you used to entertain my daughter for me whilst I had my hair done, and you'd plait her hair and things. So, and then bizarrely we bumped into each other again at the school, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fabulous. So yeah, you were a great Saturday girl. You were really good at childcare as well.
Well, it was, I mean, when I first started out, you know, I was just sweeping the floor, putting the towels on for wash, making people tea and coffee, and then gradually kind of progressed, you know, I was doing shampooing and conditioning treatments, prepping the clients for when the stylists would then come over, and then the college were really good, and so initially I started out on Saturdays, and then she gave me a couple of days in the week as well, so Amber was about just over 2 at that point. And I'd done barbering at college as well.
Okay.
So I started doing gents cuts in the salon, which really helped with my confidence.
Yeah.
One of which, actually, bless him, so I was at the salon for a year, and when I left, I kind of said, oh, you know, I'm going, and I still cut his hair now at his house.
That's it.
But yeah, and then I would get models into the salon to start, you know, doing the practice team, cut and colour. One Tracy Westgate came in for me, a couple of other, you know, friends and family came in, and then college would come out and assess me in the salon, which was really good. And I think it massively helped my confidence.
I can imagine.
I don't think I would have felt ready to leave college and then go
just
freelance.
Start up,
Because you know, just watching stylists, and they'd help. They taught me how to mix up colour and you know, toning, and there was a guy there, Steve, who's been a hairdresser all his working life, and he was brilliant. He answered all my questions, he'd let me just watch, and he was really good, and he loved what he did as well, so you could tell, you know, that he was doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, that was for a year, and then I still then had another year at college. But in my second year of college, I advertised on Net Mums. I put some flyers through, you know, like neighbouring area, and I just said, I'm in my second year of training, I'm looking to build up a freelance client base, offering models rates if you're brave enough to let me loose on your hair, and just slowly started building people up in my second year of training, and kind of just went from there, really.
Went from there, amazing.
Yeah.
That's good. So now I know that you've kind of ventured into doing beauty treatments as well, haven't you? So tell me about kind of the full package that you kind of offer at the moment.
So obviously the main thing I do is hair, ladies, gents, children, cuts and colours, do wedding hair as well, which I really like. And then about 4 years ago, I think it was, I went to a training academy in Hitchin and did gel nails and eyebrows, because I thought it was just another add-on.
Additional,
I find nails are quite seasonal for me, because it's not like my main thing that I push, but it's nice to know that I can do it. Brows, I've got quite a few regular clients, like while their tints on, I do their brows for them. And then in the last, so I kind of waited till Amber was at senior school, so she's just coming to the end of year 7. Just been interesting. But yeah, so I've now trained in facials and massage as well.
Lovely.
So I do that here. Mainly do that from home. And I think because I'm not tied to school times so much now, that kind of gave me the freedom. It was always in the back of my mind to do it, And it's nice, it kind of mixes the week up a little bit. Like yesterday I worked from home, a couple of people in for massage, a couple of facials. It's really nice to do something different. And I think because I talk a lot anyway, and I talk a lot when I'm doing hair, and when you're doing that it's really nice and quiet and relaxing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
I can imagine things have got a lot easier now, as you say, now that Amber's a bit older.
How,
kind of going back, how did you find sort of juggling having a young child and running your own business and all the other kind of family commitments?
So I think initially, it was hard initially, I'm not going to lie. She was 18 months when I started at college. And at the time my partner was working in London, so I'd kind of be going out the door as he'd be coming home. Incredibly lucky that my mum and dad live literally 5 minutes around the corner, and both my sisters live in Hitchin, so if there was going to be a bit of a crossover, mum would come round and sit with Amber till Andy got home. And just I'm very, very lucky that I've got local family, and I don't think I could have done it without their support, because it's not easy, you know, you're kind of clock watching, you know you've got to get out and you're waiting for someone to come home. But local family support. And
I think it's definitely needed when you run a business. I find that, and you probably find the same, in that your hours are probably not regular.
No,
it'd be virtually impossible to get a childminder or
when she was at school I did use a childminder 1 day a week. And that worked out fine until she got a little bit older and then she just didn't really want to do it anymore. So then I just kind of switched my hours, and I think that's the beauty of being self-employed and working for yourself. I couldn't imagine going back to being 9 to 5 office job. It's like, I'm probably unemployable now.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm just so used to being my own boss and doing what I want to do.
I feel the same. I mean, as you know, with my first two, I went back into an office management role, and it was really difficult. And I kind of remember when the first year that I went self-employed and started working for myself, I kind of thought, oh my goodness, why didn't I do this sooner? My life completely changed. Because I feel that pressure's off. You don't have to feel like you're clock watching or that you're letting somebody down.
And I mean, when Amber was quite young, like summer holidays were always a little bit tricky. So she did do a couple of, you know, like the holiday camps. She'd go to my mum's or kind of juggle it with my sisters. We'd all swap a bit of childcare between us. She has come with me, like if I'm going to someone that had children. She's been to your house.
She has,
which she quite liked, because then she'd go off and play with their kids while I was doing my mum's hair. So that worked. And now that she's older, obviously it's a lot easier. And then most people are understanding. So throughout the summer, I just work reduced hours. And August is one of my quieter months because everyone's away. So
it kind of ramps up towards that, does it?
July's crazy and December's crazy. And September can quite often be busy because everyone wants back to school haircuts, and then the kids have gone back, so all the mums want their highlights done. A bit of like a.
That's quite nice though, that you kind of know roughly when your seasonal
and I think
trends are going to be.
That took a while to establish. And you know, in the beginning, I said yes to every job going, and you work all the hours, don't you? Because you've got to build that client base. I've been doing it for 11 years now. And I feel lucky that I'm in a position that I can be a bit more choosy. And the majority of people are understanding. You know, I'll be like, look, I'm only doing mornings or afternoons, or I'm only doing evenings because Amber's on holiday, I want some time off. And most people are fine with that. And if they're not, and you lose your person along the way, that's part of it.
That's it, not the right client for you. That's what I generally say in my business. Now, I find that the main difference from going from working in a corporate company to working for myself is that I'm responsible for motivating myself. What do you do? Because I mean, I think sometimes people underestimate what it takes kind of running a business, you know, because you've got all of the different things from marketing and promoting your business, Instagram, all of the other social media, to actually doing the job that you do. So how do you motivate yourself to get all of these things done?
I'm not the best on social media, to be honest. Like, I do put stuff, I go through phases and I think, I'll post that, and then I just forget about it. I don't know actually. I suppose it's because I like doing it and it's what I want to do. So I suppose that's my biggest motivation, that I'm lucky to do something that I really enjoy. And then the add-on things that I've done over the years have been, you know, stuff that I've wanted to learn. And I'm lucky in that it's worked out, you know, the clients have kind of just built through word of mouth, and you know, so you start doing one person's hair and then you do their mum's hair and then you do the kids' hair, and so that's really nice. Yeah, I suppose I don't really know what I do for motivation. I suppose, just that I enjoy it, really, is the biggest thing.
That's really good. Obviously, naturally kind of flows how you want it to.
And you know, don't get me wrong, I get days and I think, oh, I'm really tired and don't want to go today. Or if I've got an evening client, I might come in for a little bit and think, oh, I don't want to go back out. And that's hard sometimes. That is hard, I'm not going to lie. But then once you're there, it's fine. And you come away and you feel good about the fact that someone likes their hair. And so I suppose that's motivation. It's a very rewarding job.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I've got to, you know, some of my clients have become friends, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And you do, I've had the odd complicated one, I'm not going to lie, you know, like any job.
Absolutely.
You do get tricky
can't please
people.
Everyone all the time, and that's something that I found very difficult in my business. In that you can only do the best that you can do, and that's not going to suit everybody.
And I think, so, you know, like some people, they'll say, oh, I really like this, I want to look like this, and they'll show you a picture, and I kind of think, oh, your hair's not going to do that. I can't make you look like that
person. Very diplomatic.
Which, if you ask my family in the past, I'm not always the most tactful person, so I've had to really learn that. You know, I can't just go, that ain't gonna work. Just be a bit like, well, we could try that, but do it like this. And I think managing people's expectations, like the current trend, I can't wait for this trend to be over, if I'm honest. The whole silver grey thing. If you're fair, great. If you're your colour,
I'm not feeling it. I definitely, you know, I do everything I can to get rid of my greys.
You get, you know, you might get someone that's 18 and they're dark like you, and they go, I want to look like this. I'm like, right, we're gonna have to go for about 5 stages to get you there. But you've got to be honest with people, really.
Oh, fabulous. So, what do you do when you're not working? What do you do for me time?
I binge watch rubbish TV shows, guilty pleasure TV, drink a lot of tea, a lot of biscuits. My family, all local, very family orientated, we're all quite sociable, so we get together quite a bit, which is really nice. You know, I'd like to start do yoga and all of that, but I don't.
I'm sure you have at some point. I'm sure you remember. I remember you telling me.
I did try a yoga class for a little while. It's not me. I don't like exercise, so I really.
Well, you're very lucky to look the way you do then, and not having to exercise. Some of us have to work really hard and they still are not naturally
but we've all got things that we don't like, haven't we?
Absolutely.
I purposely wore black today. I stand a lot, which you know, that's my excuse for not going to the gym. I am on my feet a lot. But I do eat a lot of rubbish. I love chocolate, you know, I like a glass of wine.
Obviously you've got good genes, haven't you?
My sisters always say that, like, you're really lucky. But we've all got our own hang-ups, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But we can all work on them, and we all have to learn to love ourselves a bit more.
Definitely, and I think the older I get, the easier that is. You know, I think definitely, it's a bit of a cliche, but I'm 45 now. I think in your 40s, you just, it doesn't matter so much.
No. And also you have to think, you know, do the effort it's going to take to make whatever changes you want to make. Is it doable? And is it
that's
something
the thing, isn't it? And then that's like, you know, if you're busy and you're on your feet all day, I do snack in the car, you know, I eat a packet of chocolate cakes. I eat a balanced diet, but I do love chocolate and I love cakes. I've got a really sweet tooth, I have sugar in my tea. Because you're busy. So if I was suddenly thinking, oh my God, I've got to be stick thin and be going to the gym all the time, I would just be really tired and miserable.
And it would change your mindset.
Definitely.
So, you know, everything in moderation is what I say, and do what feels right for you, really. So what are your future plans and goals for your business? Is there anything you want to find out?
I think, like treatment wise, I'm happy with everything I'm doing at the moment. There's been a couple of courses that I've done that I decided really weren't for me. I think that's a big thing about being self-employed as well. You've got to do what sits right. There's no point doing something because you think you're going to make money out of it if actually you're not really, like I did a lash extension course. Oh, not for me. My poor mum, bless her, she was a guinea pig for me. I think she'd been laying there for about an hour and a half and I was like, that's it, it's going out the window, I'm not doing it.
It's more difficult than it looks, isn't it?
It's
actually, I had a good friend of mine that trained in it and I was a guinea pig for her. And I'm not sure if she's still doing it or not actually, because like you, she said she found it so difficult
it's so
to kind of isolate each individual eyelash, and it's just much more difficult and more time consuming.
Really time consuming. I didn't enjoy it. I did the course, but I didn't enjoy it. And I thought, no, I'm not doing this. And then recently I've done like a waxing qualification, but then actually I'm thinking, do I actually really want to do this? I'm not sure. So yeah, I think from at the moment I'm happy with everything I'm offering, and also you've got to be realistic about time, because if you're doing too much,
you spread yourself too
thin,
thin,
and then something's got to give, and you're not giving your all to it.
I've done very similar in my business in the last year, where I've just streamlined and focused on the things that I really enjoy doing, and started having the confidence to say no to the things that I don't really want to do. And sometimes that's kind of really good. Just makes you feel good. Feels like actually, if you're doing more of what you want to do,
you're a bit more in control of it. But we're trying to move, as you probably saw the for sale sign. So I mean, that's part of, not the whole reason we're moving. But at the moment, if I do treatments, we've got like the room downstairs, which is fine. But one of the reasons that we want to move is that I'd like somewhere that's kind of separate to the house. So convert a garage or put in a summer house or something like that, and have a treatment room. Because at the moment, if anyone comes in, obviously they've got to come through the living room. Andy and Amber have got to disappear. And you know, like if you've ever had someone come for photos, so that's, I suppose, part of a plan, you know, like, and a future goal.
Would you, if you did that, would you maybe do hair from your home as well?
I don't think I would actually.
Just use it just for the treatment?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the odd person that comes here for hairdressing just because it's more convenient for them. But I don't obviously have a proper salon backwash set up, or you know, like the mirror bar. So we end up doing it in the kitchen or in here. And I've always kind of felt that if I was going to do that from home, I'd want a professional salon set up. And then I think I would probably lose at least half of my client base, because the big attraction is that I go to them. You know, and I've got some people that like the full work, so they have a colour and then I wash it off and then I cut and blow dry. I've got some ladies that have a cut first, have their foils put in. I tell them what time they've got to wash it off and I leave them to it. So it's, you know, I think that works for them. They can get dinner with their highlights.
I suppose if they're clients that you've had for a long time, you kind of know what works for them.
Definitely. So I think, I don't think I would ever do hair from home.
And I think I've seen that you've done some workshops as well, haven't you? Kind of hair braiding workshop. That looks really exciting. Vicky from the Makers Cabin in Letchworth, she approached me about doing it about a year ago, and at the time it just didn't really fit in. And then we spoke about it again a few months ago. So we used her cabin at the bottom of the garden. And it's like a mums and daughters, or I think there was an aunt and a niece. And we go through 5 different hairstyles. Over a couple of hours, and it's really, that was lovely, because you get some people that turn up and they've got a basic idea of how it works, and you've got some people that turn up that have never attempted a plait in their life, and most people got it. You know, there was a little bit of frustration. And it does take practice though,
it does, and that was the main.
I think it's good that there's somebody like you that's kind of pointing them in the right direction.
I know, me personally, I'm a very hands-on visual learner. I think that's why I never liked school, because someone talking at me, I just glaze over and I don't pay attention. And you know, like you watch YouTube, but it's not someone in front of you, is it? So they worked really well, and then
it sounds really good.
A couple of ladies have approached me about doing it, like, you know, on a one-to-one thing, because they didn't like a group environment. So going forward, that will be something that I like to offer.
It's really good. I mean, as you know, I'm always plaiting my girls' hair.
Amazing.
I can't even remember how I first learned. I think it's just something that from plaiting my Barbie doll's hair and stuff that I've just done. But so many times I have other mums approach me going, oh my god, I really wish I could do that. And I just say to them, oh, well, go have a look on YouTube or something. And it's really easy. But I think I've just become a bit complacent because I've been doing it for so many years, and having 3 girls, I've got plenty of practice.
I just always assumed that everyone could do that. So I think I was actually quite surprised that there was a call for it. And I was like, really? Like, but it worked really well. It was really busy. So
fab. Well, I'll start sending them your way then. Every time they say they can't do it, I'll be like, contact Kelly. Find out when she's available. Excellent. So the only thing really that I wanted to ask you now is, if there is anybody else out there that is, you know, maybe has had a baby or is a stay-at-home mum or in a career that they're not happy with, and they're thinking about making the change and starting up their own business, whether it be hairdressing, what sort of advice would you give them?
So obviously the most obvious one is the financial side of it. You know, whatever your circumstances are, we kind of sat down, and I wasn't the main earner at that point anyway. I think you've got to be prepared that you're not going to be making a lot initially. Obviously things are different. I was still training, so I was earning a little bit from the salon. But the first year, you know, I didn't really bring much home at all. So I think you've got to be prepared for that and know that you're going to be okay. I think you've got to be prepared to put the hours in. Definitely. You know, the first 2-3 years, I'm not going to lie, it was hard. You know, you've got to put yourself out there. You know, I advertised on Net Mums. At that point, I think I was still on Facebook. Then, you know, Instagram. There's another site that's been really good for me called Free Index, which someone else recommended to me. I put flyers through people's door. I asked friends and family to kind of convince their friends, would you come and let Kelly do your hair? So I think you can't sit back and think that it's going to come to you.
Sometimes it's harder work in the beginning. I think that's why a lot of businesses fail, actually, is that you don't realise how much you're going to have to put into it. And then some people end up saying, well, actually, I may as well just go back into a part-time job because this is actually way harder than I thought.
But then I think you've got to, I think initially you've got to put it all in, and then when you start, you've got whatever it is that you're choosing to do. Once you've got, you know, you're getting more clients that are rebooking, and you've got that support of a local, you know, the client base. This has come hard to me, but you have to learn to say no. You know, if I've had the feeling about someone, I think, well, actually, this is going to be a bit awkward, or it's not financially viable, because people will try and barter sometimes. I think you wouldn't do that in a salon. So if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And I think you can't overthink it too much. You've just got to kind of go for it. If it doesn't work, what's the worst that's happened? You've tried. And it's got to be something that you love, that you enjoy doing. Otherwise, you know, I obviously did it a lot later in life. And I said I don't have a lot of qualifications, so going back to college was a bit like, oh God. But I'm very lucky that I'm doing something that I like, and
I'm
just
guessing
go for it.
You don't regret it at all.
No,
not
at all. And when I look back at when I was working at the doctors, and you know, I was so unhappy and thinking, oh, my boss is so out of order. But actually, looking back now and being a bit older and a bit wiser, she kind of did me a favour, because if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And I am really lucky that I've got support of my family, and they're always encouraging, and they've helped out with childcare and all of that. I think you've got to know that you've got whatever it is, friends, family, that you've got that around you, because otherwise doing it on your own, you can't do it all. You know, and I've got stricter now that if someone messages me on a Sunday, I don't reply, because I think, well, if you phoned a salon, you wouldn't get an answer. And having times where my phone's down and I'm not replying to messages, having set days off, like I always have a Thursday off, always, without fail. Going forward, I'm going to be reducing on Saturdays a little bit, because I think, well, you know, touch wood, I'm in a comfortable position now, and the whole point we do this is to make it work for us, isn't it?
Absolutely. And so you put in that hard work to grow your client base,
and that takes time. And I think you've got to have realistic expectations about that. You're not going to get people knocking on the door going, oh, I've come for a cut. You know, you've got to go out there, but then once you're in that position where you feel more comfortable, definitely learn to say no, and make sure that you have set time off. That's I'm not an expert, but that's what's worked for me.
It's always really interesting to see, you know, what works for everybody else, really. But that's great. I think that's probably everything I wanted to ask you today. Thank you so much. Thank you for the voucher that you donated for the Mindset Challenge. I'm sure Ruth will be in contact to claim her facial. Well, I actually wanted to keep it myself. I was very tempted to be like, no, but no, I gave it to the lovely ladies in the challenge. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. If any of you have got any questions that you wanted to ask Kelly, then do drop them below, and I will kind of ask her and get back to you. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.